But I have a question for you,
Okay.
and it's in regards to Death Parade.
Yeah.
If you and someone called Trust No One Jeffrey were in the Death games that were being played, who would win?
We are back again with another anime freshman fresh bites review about a very different kind of anime. We're going all the way into the psychological side of things. We're looking at
It's
Death Parade.
Death Parade. It's about to be the realest FBR I think we've ever done. Literally. So, how you doing, my man? How you doing, Gerrd?
I am alive, P-Zen, and yourself.
I also am alive, enjoying this nice weather and drinking nice cider. I'm alive, unlike the characters in our FBR.
You know, it's quite funny that you say that because I honestly feel like this weather is trying to kill us.
Shit. Literally death by heat stroke. We might end up competing in death games like they do in Death Parade.
Imagine that. That would actually be wild. But let's talk about this. I guess what we should do first for the people then who are actually listening and so on and so forth. We should actually run through what Death Parade is. So I mean, do you want to do that, or should I do that? Do you want to do that, or should I do that? Or
I tell you what, I have a coin right here. Let's play a game. I have a coin. Okay, I don't have a coin, but I have my bottle cap.
Wow.
So
okay, so this is
this is the twist. Heads or tails? This side is heads. And this side is tails.
Cool.
Heads me, tails you.
Cool.
Heads.
Okay.
So let's go. Let's do this. Death Parade is a tale by Yuzuru Tachikawa, actually, I believe his name is. It's basically the premise of it is people go to, I guess, limbo or kind of purgatory, where unbeknownst to them, they will have their memories erased and they will have to compete in death games against each other to basically decide if they're going to go to heaven or hell, which is basically they'll either go to the void or they'll get reincarnated. The games are overseen by arbiters who basically judge the contestants based on their behavior during the game. And during those games, they'll decide if said candidate will basically be worthy enough to go to heaven or go to hell. And in essence, that is the premise of Death Parade.
So pretty much what we see is a bunch of one-shot episodes that kind of have a running theme through them. Well, there's a running story through it, but they have a running story through them. We see a bunch of people who've just died come through. They play the game, and then at the end of the day, they go to get reincarnated, or their soul goes to the void. So the story mainly follows our two main characters. So one is a new arbiter who's just started the job. His name is Dekim.
Shout out to Dekim.
A young lady who has forgotten what her name is. Funnily enough, I've also forgotten what her name is.
I remember for the both of you. Her name that she eventually does find out later on is Chiyuki.
So
yes,
let's talk about it. I mean, you know what? First things first, right? There's a scene on one of our Insta posts. There's a post where it's beautifully animated anime, and there's a scene from Death Parade where they're playing pool but with planets, and I didn't realize that it was actually from Death Parade, and I was like, oh wait, word?
Yeah, that was Oculus.
Yeah.
Oculus, who's one of the gods, or who is a quote unquote god in the world, and he was playing pool with the head of the tower, Nona, I believe her name is Nona, who is basically the manager of the whole tower.
So I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, man, this is visually stunning. Like, oh my god, this thing just drew me in so much. So I was like, wow. But I mean, outside of the visuals and stuff, like, it actually does take you. It will take you in. I think story wise as well, when you're just kind of looking at the way that they kind of have to make decisions, and then, like, you know, the way the arbiters kind of have to come to their decisions by kind of bringing out the darkest part of people so that they can actually see what they'll do in extreme situations. And it just kind of makes you question exactly what morality is, and, you know.
I'm not gonna lie, the animation literally drew me in. I think from the first episode, I was like, if there's a anime with really good animation, it doesn't take too much for me to go, I'm gonna give this a shot. And by the end of the first episode, I would like the premise of the whole limbo and the premise of the arbiters having the job to bring out the darkest part of their humanity was something that left me like, fuck, this is going to be one ride. And it
So I
really
think
was a
something
ride.
else that there's also, like, you can also take notice of in the anime, I think, which you don't, I don't know if you see that too often, like in animes that are that short, but there's essentially one overarching story. Is it overarching? Is that the word I'm looking for? That's the word I'm going to use anyway. So there's one overarching
Let's go
story,
that word.
and then there's like a mini story in each episode. And then
Mm,
outside of the mini story in each episode, there's also the kind of other story that's going on with
mm,
Nona, and you see her little kind of things going on just like in sidelines and stuff. I thought that was
yeah.
actually pretty cool. You're following
Yeah,
multiple storylines at once.
I agree with that. The plots that basically run throughout that short anime was, if you really think about it, there was so much going on. Every episode had like a moral, and every episode, like you said, had a connection to the overarching storyline. And it was a storytelling masterpiece in just 12 episodes, if I'm being honest.
So I mean, in terms of episodes, because like we've said many times on the pod, or at least
Mm.
like I've said many times on the pod, it's quite hard for an anime. Like for me, it's quite hard for me to really be into an anime, or for an anime to grip me within 12 episodes. Normally, I need a bit more than that for me to say, okay, yeah, this is definitely one of those things. But did it do that for you?
It did. It did. I've seen a few very short animes, and this would honestly be a very underrated one in my opinion, and B, one that I can't really find much to fault about it.
Yeah, to be honest, I mean, this was just like a massive middle finger to all this shit anime that I've watched in my life. I can't, I don't know if there's anything bad that I can say about this. I probably wanted to see a bit more exposition on like other characters and stuff that they had going on, like, you know, what like Nona's little scheme was. Maybe
Mm,
actually see a bit more of the other arbiter who we see in the story, Ginta, you know, see a bit
mm,
more of his interactions with people and stuff like that. But I mean, I guess there's only so much that you can fit into 12 episodes. Really, I don't think I've
literally.
got a bad thing to say about this anime. Like, they knocked it out of the park first time, I reckon.
One thing as well about Ginter, the one you recommend or the one you mentioned just now, is I would have loved to see more about him as well, because he seemed to have his own way of doing things. And Decium,
Decade.
the main character, Dekim, he also had his own way of doing things. And even though they clashed, they both were, I guess, highly recommended for their jobs.
Yeah, it makes sense. I like, you need, like, you know, the thing is, it's weird because I guess I don't know, like, you know, when you got those kind of duos, I'm not saying that they're a duo, but like, you know, normally you got like the straight man, so like you got a guy who's kind of angry and whatever, and then like you got someone's kind
Yeah.
of happy go lucky, but like they're both kind of the straight man,
They both definitely
because
are, but
he's quite
yeah,
like angry, and then like Deckham's quite flat.
mm. But I also noticed that there was one thing that Ginter didn't really agree with, but he ended up eventually doing something similar. And I was thinking, oh, okay, so it's not that easy after all, is it?
Yeah, no, do you know what? I think when I was actually watching it, like I was trying to make the decisions alongside them. I was thinking, right, who's really gonna, you know, who's going to heaven, who's going to hell, or like, I was trying to like predict that before the end of the episode. The first episode really fucked with me. I was like, that fucked me over. I was like, oh shit.
Was that the
What
one with the
twist?
pool or the one with the darts?
The first episode was the one with the darts.
Ah, yeah.
So actually, we should explain that. Actually, how they actually come to the decision where they go to heaven or hell. So they play games, which I think is actually quite funny. Like just like random games, but the games always come with some kind of a twist.
Sounds harmless, unless you're talking to Jigsaw from the Saw universe.
So, for example, in the first episode, they played a game. The dead people played a game where they had to play darts, but whether every part of the dartboard was linked to a part of their body. So wherever they hit on the dartboard, they would feel pain in that part of the body. So, for example, you could feel pain in your shoulder if you used to hit like a shoulder part on the dartboard, or you feel pain in your eye if you used to hit the eye on a dartboard. God Lord. But like, yeah, I thought that was actually quite an interesting twist on things. I would have liked to see more games.
Do you know what? I would have liked to see more games as well. And I noticed as well during the games, some of them would go into the realms of like physical pain, but others would kind of let the course play out, and the arbiters will eventually try to slowly bring back memories to basically affect how the people would react. But in almost every example of the games that were played, one or both would basically do some fucked up shit.
Always with the fucked up shit. There's always got to be a fucked twist. This is like Saw over a series. Like this is like Saw over the course of a series, but with like heartfelt moments and shit.
Literally, do you know there was some. Funny you say that, because some parts got me in my feels. I was choked up at a couple of episodes. Not even gonna lie to you.
No, I can't blame you, to be honest. There were some moments I was thinking, man. Like at first, I'm thinking, yo, no, you're a piece of shit, man. You're going to hell. And then like, it kind of explained why he's a piece of shit. And I'm like, oh man, you know what? Like, give him another chance.
You don't smell that bad. Maybe not the worst piece of shit.
Like, yo,
maybe just,
listen, I was like, yeah, certain times I'm just like, right, man, the world did this guy wrong.
Like they deal with a lot of deep themes as well. Like they deal with things like suicide, like sudden loss of life, and the most fucked up part about it is they don't actually have a recollection of them actually dying at the start of their game. So they all think they're still alive, and they feel they're just playing games that are high stakes. Like for instance, I think there was two that thought that there was a kidnapping, and they wanted to play the game out to see when they can get opportunity to escape. And then obviously later on they find out that they're dead, which is
yeah, the way that they came to learn about themselves is quite that was quite interesting though. I liked that, to be honest. You don't see that too, at least I don't think I've seen that too often in an anime. Not in the way that like Death Parade did it. But I mean, I guess coming to the end of things, like what would you I guess if you could give it a 1 minute review, just like give it a 1 minute review with a grade, what would you say?
What would I say? I would say that I went into Death Parade with an open mind. It was one of the times I was between anime looking for something to watch. And sometimes you look for an anime that will kind of just fill the gaps between now and the next big anime coming out. But this anime was a pleasant surprise for me. It's a psychological anime, but I think when I spoke to you about this before, you said you feel it's more philosophical. I agree with like both sides. It's one that will get you thinking. It will get you in your feels. And for 12 episodes, you can't really. I think I watched it in 2 days. It literally took me 2 days to get through it. If I was to grade this, I would give it a B. I'd give it a B, solid B.
All right, then. With me, I think what I'd say is beautifully animated, nice story, quite an interesting watch from start to finish. Can't really say too much bad about it. I don't know if it's one of the best anime that I've ever watched, but it definitely wasn't one of the worst. So I think I agree with you. I'll say on the strength of the animation, I might go a bit higher than you. I'd give it an A-,
Mm-hmm.
because I thought it was really well animated. Yeah, story wise, I fucks with it, man. You know, and I think you won't be disappointed if you watch that. So I would definitely recommend you to put that on your list. You want a quick anime to, you know, fill the gap between other big anime. It's the one you need to watch. But I guess that's
And
me, though. Oh wait, no. I mean,
yeah.
unless you've got something to say.
Oh, all I was going to say is that if people want like a little sneak peek in some of the scenes, we actually did a AMV on our YouTube channel. You will also see it in the freshman AMVs. It's called "Let the Games Begin," and there are certain little clips from Death Parade in there. So I recommend giving that a watch and a thumbs up. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Hint, wink, wink, which means that you should actually check out our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/anime freshman, if I'm not mistaken. If not, then just go to YouTube and type in anime freshman, and you can also check us out on the socials, which is Facebook at anime freshman, Twitter anime freshman, Instagram at anime freshman, Snapchat anime freshman. We also do blogs on our website, which you should go to, which is animefreshman.com. And then if you want to read the blogs, that's every Monday. So animefreshman.com/blogs. We also do this thing. It's called a podcast. It comes out every other Wednesday. You should probably go and listen to that. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Google Podcasts. Check us out. That's the main bread and butter. You're going to have some interesting, like, you know what I'm saying, just some interesting stuff to be talking about over there. And have I missed out anything? I don't think I have.
I don't think you missed out anything either. Before we go, I'm not going to do the Cartel thing because that is obviously Cartel's thing. But I have a question for you.
Okay.
And it's in regards to Death Parade.
Yeah.
If you and someone called Trust No One Jeffrey were in the Death games that were being played, who would win?
Depends on what we play. I'm not going to lie to you. If it's Mario Kart, I'm getting smoked.
Fair. Well, let's hope that you don't get in that situation where you have to play Mario Kart against Trust No One Jeffrey. But anyway, that is us. Thank you guys for tuning in, and as always,
censored. Oh, you prick.